The Biden administration's move to ban menthol cigarettes has the black community split, with the ban supporters arguing it promotes a healthier lifestyle and its critics arguing it's unfairly targeting black Americans and could lead to injustices and policing issues. The White House has heard from both sides of the debate on the Food and Drug Administration's ban, which could have a major impact on the tobacco industry. While its proponents say the ban will save lives, opponents warn of its potential impact on black smokers who overwhelmingly prefer menthol cigarettes and include law enforcement members who warn that it could put undue pressure on policing grappling with higher crime rates. But questions have also come up over the ties between tobacco companies and the groups and big-name political leaders opposing the ban. The FDA could come as early as this week to a determination after President Biden's FDA had a year to issue proposed product standards to ban menthol as a characterizing flavor in cigarettes and ban all characterizing flavors in cigars. Quote, "It's not a coincidence that just as tobacco industry targeted the African American community with its marketing, it has used its money to persuade key members of its community to speak up in its defense. There is a correlation between many of those who have spoken up in defense of the industry and those who have long been supporters of R.J. Reynolds," closed quote. This comes from Matthew Myers, the president of the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. The Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids argues that the ban will have a greater impact on reducing health disparities in the black community and other action the administration can take, as does the NAACP, who thinks that the ban will help promote people being healthier. Quote, "We feel that the tobacco industry has targeted the black community for more than 50 years. Frankly, they have. They've done a marvelous job with marketing. They've been at its best," says Portia White, the NAACP's Vice President of Policy and Legislative Affairs. She continues, "It would be just wrong, totally wrong, if the FDA would allow them to continue to do this, really," closed quote. Both groups, as well as lawmakers that back the ban, point to the significance of the FDA issuing the ban, which would be on manufacturers, retailers, and distributors, not on individuals. But some top leaders have taken a loud stance against moving forward with the ban, including activist Al Sharpton and attorney Ben Crump. Quote, "We have not said that we oppose it. What we said was we'd like to see a study, a commission to study how they deal with the unintended consequences before they impose a ban," closed quote. This comes from Al Sharpton and what he said in an interview with The Hill. Eric Gardner's mother, as well as Trayvon Martin's mother and George Floyd's brother, penned a letter to the White House last week arguing the administration make an effort to fully comprehend the criminal justice implications the ban would have on the black community. All three maintain in a letter to Susan Rice, the director of Domestic Policy Council, that they in no way encouraged, support, or promote smoking, closed quote. "This is how her son got killed," Sharpton said, referring to Garner's mother. He continues with, "How could anybody ignore interactions between police and the black community if they increased because of the ban," close quote. He continues with, "If a policeman sees a guy standing on the corner smoking a Kool, he's asking, 'Where did you get that from?' And what would the interaction lead to?" Closed quote. Sharpton also suggested that the push to legalize marijuana in the United States could directly conflict with the effort to ban the menthol cigarettes. He says, quote, "That puts us in a very awkward position as ministers. Grandma can't smoke her Kools, but Jamal can smoke his weed. That puts us in an awkward kind of position that looks paradoxical," closed quote. Law enforcement officials are also expressing concerns about the ban, arguing that it will result in police and their resources being stretched thin. Quote, "There's really, from what I can read, no clear-cut law enforcement component," said Elliot Boyce, the director of the New York State Police Employee Assistance Program. He continues, "Because there's no clear-cut law enforcement component, That's going to leave law enforcement at a loss to try and figure out how to enforce these bans, close quote. Boyce added that a ban would not necessarily do anything to stop illegal selling of menthol cigarettes and could expand an illicit market for the cigarettes. On top of that, some law enforcement officials argue that the ban does not have tough enough enforcement measures in place. For Headlines with a Voice, this is Felicia Lockhart.
Lockhart Perspective.